Hey YouTube fam, welcome back to the channel. My name is Omar Pineda, your Austin realtor with eXp Realty, and we are in the city of Taylor, Texas today in a brand new community that I got a chance to go check out the grand opening of their model in Spring Creek. And the builder we're looking at is Brightland Homes. Now I love the color choice and the curb appeal of this home. You can see that they did a little bit half limestone and a little bit half just siding there, and I think it all came together. I love the front porch as you enter the home. It's nice when you have a front porch, and I believe this has a covered back patio as well. Now this is a floor plan that's called the Rosewood. It starts in the low 400s at $434,990. It has 4 beds, 2.5 baths. It's over 3,000 square feet. So this is a very large home for my big families. 2-story, 3-car tandem garage. And there's currently 2 of these floor plans for sale at $449,990. Now, check out this true walk-in pantry. I love the backsplash here. I love the color cabinets. I have a preference for light cabinets, especially when you have it done nice with some light tile work in the back in the back there. Let's see here. Here we're standing in the casual dining space. Now, I make a note of that because there is an actual formal dining room towards the front end of the house, and the primary bedroom is on the first floor. So if you're looking for a floor plan that has the primary bedroom on the first floor and the remaining bedrooms on the second floor with a massive game room, then this floor plan is going to check all those boxes. Now, Brightland Homes is probably one of my favorite builders because they just do the little things right. And you could just see the quality in the craftsmanship, especially for the price point in this price point. When I look at other builders in this price point, I could see kind of like where they took little shortcuts here and there, but Brightland Homes, it just feels the quality. It feels nicer. Whenever I show my buyers between Brightland Homes and other builders, Brightland always sticks out. Right now, we're currently standing in the primary bedroom or the owner's suite, and you can see the high vaulted ceilings in this bedroom. That makes it just feel more open and more bigger. Here's the master bath where we have the nice shower and tub combo, and we're gonna have his and her sinks here, and we're gonna have one walk-in closet that is enough for 2 people because it's that big. What do you guys think of the primary bedroom on the first floor? Are you a big fan of that, or more on the second floor if we're talking about 2-story? Now, one interesting thing that's happening in Taylor, Texas is Samsung. Samsung, it moved in a couple years ago, and they're building a brand new semiconductor manufacturing facility. And this community is going to be within 15 minutes of that. Not enough people know about this community. That's why these homes have not sold yet. There's 2 communities. If you're looking at new construction homes in Taylor, Texas, close to Samsung, there's 2 communities that are actually closer to Samsung, but the floor plans and the craftsmanship and the quality is not going to touch Brightland Homes, and you have to see for yourself. You have to see for yourself. Let's see here now. Now we're going to be making our way towards the front end of the house so we can see that formal dining room. Excuse me. Now, if you're trying to build from the ground up, this dining room can be another bedroom. It could be a study. This is like usually a flex space that builders kind of pick if they're creating a spec home, if they want to go with a formal dining room, another bedroom, or another study. So you can think of it that way if you're planning on building from the ground up. That can be a definite option. So not too bad. Lots of windows and lots of natural light. Again, this is not going to be a big master plan community. I believe it's just Brightland Homes that's going to be in Spring Creek at the moment. And there's no planned amenities that I can remember, but I will double check that and leave it a note in the comments if there is, because just by judging from the size of this community, it doesn't seem like there will be. Now, let's see here now. Some facts about the community. The tax rate's not too bad. 2.12. That's not too shabby. Let's see. HOA is $54. Natural gas community. This community does belong to the Taylor ISD. And Brightland Homes does offer some amazing financial incentives. You'll notice that we were in the laundry room and there was no washer or dryer. but that is something that we can ask for during the negotiation process. Let's see here now. 3-car tandem garage. That's a huge plus. You don't really see that too often in Taylor, Texas, because Taylor, Texas, I would say, is definitely a small town. You have that small town vibe. I know from the meetings I've gone to, they are very intentional about growing slowly. They're not in any rush to go quickly, even though Samsung is knocking at their door, and I know Samsung's going to bring a whole lot more just momentum to Taylor, Texas, and Hutto, Texas, and the surrounding areas. So for a floor plan of this size, over 3,000 square feet, you get a 3-car tandem garage, and in the mid 400s. A home like this would sell for, I don't know, almost double that if we were talking about Leander or Liberty Hill. But in Taylor, Texas, which is the opposite side of Williamson County, you can get a home at half the cost virtually. And when you combine the financial incentives that the builder is offering, you can get a fantastic deal. A fantastic deal, not only with the interest rate, but a lot of your closing costs covered, and some of the home appliances thrown in too. So these are the amenities not the amenities, but the incentives that you have to take advantage of. So now here's the game room. I call this like the second living room. That I know for my folks who are looking for 2 stories, that's always a big plus. You're typically fine on a 2-story, like a game room or a huge loft. That's like a second living space, right? That's really nice for folks that are looking at 2 stories. That's a huge plus, because you want to have, typically what my buyers tell me is that, they want the living room on the main floor to stay nice and clean in case company arrives, and that way people hang out in the game room and can get it messy because it's out of sight, out of mind. Now, I love how you can see from below, from the second floor. I know some buyers ask for that. They want to have that feel of being able to see from the front door, or being able to see the living room from upstairs, and you get that from with this floor plan. Now, upstairs we have the 3 remaining bedrooms and 1 full bath. Now, if you're looking for another community that maybe has a little bit more amenities because you have kids, or you just want to have a swimming pool because it gets hot in Texas and it's nice to be in the water, then there are some more neighboring communities that I can show you that have a bunch of amenities. But I really like this community because I love the builder. And the location is within 15 minutes of where the new Samsung facility is. And I would say Taylor, Texas is definitely one of those emerging markets, one of those cities that's growing. It's still very small in terms of construction for residential and commercial, minus the big Samsung plant, because that is going to drive so much more business here in Taylor and Hutto, Texas. Okay, this is the last bedroom before we go downstairs and check out the backyard. You'll notice for the ceiling, it's just a light. And typically you want a ceiling fan because it gets hot here in Texas. And just know that typically that the lights come pre-wired. So if you wanted to do that yourself and install a ceiling fan, then you certainly could. It's already pre-wired for that, but that's something you would have to do yourself. Typically what builders do is just include the ceiling fan for the living room and sometimes the primary bedroom, but it all depends. So here's a covered back patio, not the largest covered back patio I've ever seen, but a covered back patio nonetheless. There are some floor plans that have a bigger covered back patio, so we can definitely take a look at that if there's one available. So here's the backyard, not too shabby. There's space on the side and space in the back. So I would say this looks like either a 50 or a 50-foot lot, which is very spacious. Maybe even a 60-foot lot. That's the sides like that, or you get both. So here's a nice drone shot. You can see not enough people know about this place. They currently have a couple spec homes that are quick moving for sales, and she did tell me there are some Samsung people that have moved in already. So this is a very viable community if you're looking to work at the new Samsung plant. And I just love that. Well, if you're watching this video, one advantage that you have is that not enough people know about it, and now you get a pretty good look at what the surrounding area looks like. It's a lot of farmland. It's very, very flat. You get some trees, but that's the big draw and big difference between, I would say, the west side of Williamson County, or we're in the east side, right? We're in the east side compared to the west. And the west is a lot more hilly, a lot more trees. Here it's a lot more flat, a lot more farmland. But you will find more affordable homes here, especially if you're looking for a larger home. So this was, again, the Rosewood floor plan. 4 beds, 2.5 baths. Starting price is low 400s out at 434,990, and there are currently 2 for sale at the time of this recording at 449,990. So if you want to take a look at those homes, then I'll have all my information linked in the description. But I'm gonna put a pause here so I can show you some more stuff happening in the area. Give me 1 sec. Okay, here we go. So really quickly here, so you can see the floor plan. The primary bedroom is on the first floor, along with that formal dining that we saw, and then we had that casual dining space. So you're gonna have 2 places to eat. So if family meals is a big deal, or you entertain a lot and having people over, then this would be a fantastic floor plan for that, because you could definitely entertain. And you saw that backyard, you have plenty of space for either pets or to even throw a nice backyard party or barbecue, right? And if you're looking for storage, this has a 3-car tandem garage. So usually with that tandem garage, it's like, think of a 2-car garage, and then that then there's one space. Think of like almost like an L, and that's what a 2-car tandem garage. So usually with that extra car space, I've seen people use that as storage, and they love that. You have definitely a lot of space for all that with the 3-car tandem. And then upstairs, we saw the game room that acts like a second living space with the remaining 3 bedrooms and that last full bath upstairs. So I really want to show you what's happening in the area. Let's go to Spring Creek. This is my map where I'm able to track everything that's happening in the Austin area when it comes to new construction. So let's zoom out here. So here's the city of Taylor, Texas, and here's where Samsung is currently being built. They've already started production and they're testing their quality. I know they've run into a few kind of hiccups, but they're still persevering nonetheless. And I'm going to do a whole nother video on an update for Samsung, so stay tuned for that, especially because the recent news was Tesla just signed a big contract with Samsung, so that's going to really put Samsung, just give more confidence for people with Samsung, because I know that they were kind of all the momentum, they kind of lost some steam with the tests that weren't producing the best results. But with that Tesla partnership, I know it's going to be very, very big for them. So here's Samsung. There's a lot of stuff happening in Hutto and Taylor, right? Hutto is the next city over. Hutto Hippos is the next city over from Taylor. So both these cities are going to grow rapidly, but you could just see in Hutto, there's just a lot more newer construction happening. So if you can't find anything in Taylor, or maybe it's a little bit too new of a town for you, right? There's not much to do there. It's a very small town, right? They do have a nice kind of main street that really reminded me of Round Rock, their little downtown area. And whatchamacallit? Ooh, I almost forgot. I have to make a mental note to not forget, because I want to show you the pool. I might include that in a link in the description, because when I asked about the amenities, now I remember they're not going to have any amenities as far as a pool, but they are doing a huge renovation project for the public pool for the city of Taylor. And I did get a chance to go there and fly my drone so you could see what that looks like. So if you stay till this far in the video, you'll be able to see that in the description. So we have not only Samsung, but we have these 2 big projects happening underway too. The Hutto mega site, which is going to be data centers. And then you're going to have the Taylor Logistics Park, which is, let's read. A South Korean company behind one of the region's largest economic developments has secured financial incentives from Williamson County for what could be a $600 million acid plant on 85 acres. It purchased at RCR Taylor Logistics Park last year. So this is going to be a chemical plant of some kind. So that's something to consider, right? That's something to consider. You're going to have a chemical plant. You're going to have Samsung moving here. And what's this? And the Hutto mega site. The Hutto mega site. So let's see. These were the schools that are nearby Taylor Middle School. So if you have kids in elementary or middle school, the commute time is going to be very, very short, very convenient. You can see the proximity here from Spring Creek. But let's see. I think the high school is down here, right? Yes. So even the high school's not too far. So I guess that's the beauty of being in a small town, is that everything's pretty relatively close, within 15 minutes, I would say. So this is Spring Creek, right? So if you're maybe working in the domain, or maybe more if you're in the tech sector, this probably wouldn't work out so much for you, because you'd be kind of too far, depending if you work from home or not. But hey, just so a point of reference, everything you see in orange, these are builders out in the Austin area, and I track a lot of them. Okay, so why should you work with me? Because I know there's a lot of us out there. There's a lot of real estate agents out there, and why you should work with me? Because I keep a pulse on the new construction here in Austin, Texas. As you can see from that map, I've toured many, many homes, and when you keep a pulse on the market, you understand the incentives, you understand what you can negotiate, and we can go with speed, or we can figure out if you run into hurdles, because it's not easy every time. Especially for a first-time home buyer, there's a lot of uncertainty and there's a lot of education that's involved. And I do a lot of videos, so I send my clients a lot of videos, not just that I post on YouTube, but that I post to them offline, so they can understand. Because a lot of times when I'm sharing my screen, just like how you're seeing this video now, it's very helpful for people to be able to kind of play it back or repeat some things, because a lot of times, hey, you hear it for the first time and it just goes in one ear and not the other, and you kind of need that repetition for that learning to occur. And that's the beauty of video, and that's why I believe wholeheartedly in doing video. I do so much video that, it's definitely part of my process and part of my business to showcase my value and to educate and show you guys, like, hey, there's a lot of beautiful homes being built in Austin, Texas. The problems that we're having is that homes are getting more affordable, believe it or not, right? It kind of, I'm from California. That's where I'm originally from. When I talk to my folks and my family there, and I talk to other real estate agents in the area, it's funny because we have such different polar opposite problems, right? In if you're talking about either coast, there's inventory shortages all around the country, but here in Austin we have the opposite effect. We have so much inventory that it's driving prices down, and the incentives are getting even better and better. So we're definitely in a buyer's market, so you can really scoop up an amazing deal. And new construction is by far where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. You're going to get the most lucrative incentives. That's going to help buy down that interest rate. That's going to help make those monthly payments that much more easier to handle. And you're going to almost come to with next to nothing to the closing table, because the builders, if you negotiate, you can pay for most, if not all, of your closing costs. You should be asking for these things, because in a buyer's market, you have all the negotiating power. Okay. So my name is Omar Pineda. I'll have all my information linked in the description. You can call or text me. But let's just say your timeline is maybe a little bit longer, maybe 90 days or more, or maybe even early next year, and you still want to, I would highly recommend scheduling a discovery call, right? That way we can maybe dive a little bit deeper in your situation and see, hey, maybe if we can get you there sooner, let's entertain that. Because a lot of times what's standing in the way is usually bad credit, some debt, and I don't just do real estate. I have a bunch of people that help me out when it comes to credit repair, mortgage lending, creative financing. So if you hire me, you unlock all of those things, so we can help tackle this together, right? And again, I'm only just a phone call or text away. I'll have all that linked in the description. Okay, and I think I'm gonna cut this off now for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.